I knew he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy. Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
What's up, guys? RicoCapital back again for another weekly recap. Before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my playlist with many more videos you can start watching today. Now, this week was crazy. For traders, anyone that was trading this past week, we knew it was going to be a big week. We had Fed rate decision on top of big tech earnings, right? Meta, Apple, Tesla, all that. And so we knew this was going to be a very tricky week. Now, we saw Friday that we kind of rejected all-time highs and kind of closed just under all-time highs and wanted to see what would happen. Now, huge sell-off that we did not expect going into Monday. This had to do with DeepSeek, AI, Chat GPT replacement, China stuff. So it was a huge overreaction. Nvidia tanked. Some of our big names in tech tanked, and I think that's what pulled us down. I think it was a huge, overreaction. So that was a huge, windfall for us because we did slam up here for a swing into more all-time highs, some SPYs, 520 calls. Now those expire that we slammed right here on this day. Those actually expire February 5th. So there's still a lot of time on it, but this right here, this just pulled down, pretty much ruined that for us. Even though we knew more than likely we're going to grind all the way back up, it was just a huge kind of black swan event, and it kind of just ruined that trade for us. So while we're still holding those to see kind of what happened, we did see that the market gapped down. We took some calls for the push back up, and this one was really awesome because right at open, we broke the flag up here, took some calls up, and we're playing some really good day trades. So we took that as well as Amazon. We were playing Amazon as well. We saw Amazon gap down that day, and we were slamming Amazon all day on Monday, knowing that it filled the gap right back up and kept pushing to new all-time highs. And so we were definitely playing Amazon really early in the week and banking off that. So we're doing really good as well. And so we're keeping it simple and just winning. So we saw the market kind of bounce a little bit, eat some of the gap, kind of hold. Next day we did see, QQ, of course, a lot weaker than SPY, but did pretty much the same thing if you kind of look at it as a whole, right? We were trying to press SPY as much as we can. So we saw a flag right here, right when we broke above the flag. Actually, this one was a really good one too because as we started dipping here, we're slamming nothing but calls. We knew we were going to come right back up. This was a banger play right here. I did this live. We saw that we dipped to the bottom right here. As the candle dried up, we knew this would be probably a trend day. We slammed calls at the bottom here. I think it was like the 600 strike right here. They went deep in the money as we hit that 603, 602. And then we played some nice little puts for that rejection right here. Did this live as well. We hit that supply, RicoCap supply, came right back out, held that 601, and then, just went a little bit higher there. But two solid plays for the day. We kept it simple going into, Wednesday, which Wednesday was the bigger day. Fed rate decision and all the earnings, the big tech earnings at close. So as you can see, I told the team early on, I'm not trading the morning session. It's going to be chop. And as you see, it was a lot of chop there. And so it was a lot of chop, and we weren't participating in it. I was protecting profits, doing less. So as the Fed rate came out and everything, we can see right here we jumped into this demand, and so I ended up slamming some calls, some 602s or 603s, 605s, kind of right here. And as you can see, big strong push out here. And then, it was kind of short-lived as we kind of came back to the 602, 603, trimmed a little bit, ended up swinging the rest of those calls. As you can see, we gapped up going into Thursday. And then, we kind of came back to this demand, held, pushed up there, selling the call, selling our position. And so I really didn't want to, mess around too much on this Thursday. At this point, we're kind of bulls are just kind of giving up here as we're kind of, getting near the gap, coming back down, eating some of the gap a little bit more, knifing right back down. This had to do right here with Apple. So if we go look at Apple, you can see kind of the same thing right before close, because right before it was going to be its earnings. So right before close, you can see it just kind of knifed. And then, of course, it's earnings and all that. So tougher tape to be playing, to be honest. So we didn't really participate too much into this, kind of sit back. And so we want to see, what happens after that. As you can see, we gapped up more. And so this was the tricky part. This Friday, I'm a little frustrated because I went 2 for 3 when I could have went 3 for 3 on some banger plays. Now, we gapped up here, and it was a gap and go on SPY. Now, I did see that, we had this gap, and I was expecting that gap. So kind of right near open, we slammed some puts, except QQQ and SPY ended up grinding a little bit higher to that, kind of rejection zone. SPY ended up going to the 609 area, rejected there, and then completely sold off, putting our puts super in the money. They went from $10 a contract all the way to $300 a contract. So it was an absolute insane play. And we got stopped out on it because our average was around 90, $100, and it went all the way against us, and then came all the way back. And I told the team, you could zero hero it, but I'm stopping out on these lottos, and that was it was what it is. It happens. But we did go 2 more bangers on QQQ here. I saw QQQ broke the flag on the 15, opened right above it. We ended up taking some calls for the ride up to 529, 530. And then we took a little roll up here as we came right back up. We rejected, came right back up, and from here re-entered some other lotto calls, and we shot right up to 531, almost that 532 level, but a good $2 move right there, put our lottos up nicely, and that was that. So it was decent, but we could have held on to those puts and really banked, and so it is what it is. We'll leave it at that. It's all good. Next week we're going in strong. We did see that bulls closed the gap all the way back to where we sold off from that Friday. Notice how we gapped down, there's the gap, and then we ended up eating the gap. Q ate it a little bit more there. SPY perfectly came right back to it, and then dumped off there. And so we're kind of disappointed in bulls right now. We're rejecting all-time highs, and we just can't get there yet. So we're kind of seeing what's going on here, and from there we're gonna kind of do less and look for more reason to take calls. Bulls are gonna have to prove it to us this next week. And all of February, really, they're gonna have to prove it to us that they mean business. Unless we get back to all-time highs, I'm gonna be really reluctant to want to kind of take calls. Of course, we're gonna be trusting the zones, right? Understand where buyers are at, sellers are at. So we see that demand holds right there. We're gonna be taking some calls for the ride back up. We see that a rejection site is still being active, and so sellers are still in supplies, then yeah, we'll be taking puts for the rejection out. Rinse and repeat, it's all we do at RicoCapital here. We're winning nonstop by just doing this. So as long as we tie in, tap in, and really get into the zones and kind of ignore the noise, we'll be all right. That's it. Just get the base hits, get the big wins when they come, and stay alive. That's the name of the game. You can wheel in a lot of money here. Just sticking to the zones and understanding, where the sellers are at and where the buyers are at. So these are the game plans that, my members get every night. They have the zones. I post them every night so they know what the deal is, what the plan is. Above here, calls, below here, that's how it goes. So very easy stuff for us. And that was the week, and in hindsight, you can see, all right, we did grind all the way back up to eat the gap. And then came right back down once we finished the gap. Very, very predictable, but in the moment, it's very hard when you see nothing but, kind of chop here. You're seeing the sideways movement. You're seeing the premium killer, stuff where it's just nothing but kind of sideways. Finally, we get a really good extended move, and at this point, we're already mentally kind of fried on a Friday. It's a war out there, and by Friday we're already all banged up, beat up, bruised up, and then they kind of do this to us. So headline-driven market, we're definitely in Trump's market now. I call it the kangaroo market because things are up, down, up, down, up, down at any moment. So this, and unless things kind of shape up, this might be a very intense, next couple of years to be trading. But of course, every year's different. So we'll see how this year goes. We're still near all-time highs, so let's not freak out. We're still near all-time highs. Let's see what happens. Let's see, bulls kind of step in here. Let's see what happens with Trump and these tariffs and all these other news. So regardless, we're going to trade the zones. We're going to keep showing up, and we're going to keep winning as well. So just want to give you all the quick recap on that. We're coming in strong next week, so be on the lookout for that. RicoCap family is strong. WAP.com/RicoCapital if you want to sign up, be a part of the team. We're winning over here. We're doing a lot better than a lot of other teams, guys. I'm seeing, big traders even on Twitter and, people in this space, are red on the month. For me personally, RicoCap's closing in about 50% gain on the month. I was up 150, 160%, but this kind of movement ended up taking me out a little bit of my gain, so that's fine. Okay, good start to the year. I'll be happy. I'm happy with 50%. Let's keep it pushing. It's a journey, so let's see how we do this. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to lead the members to profitability. Seeing a lot of good members, be traders and, be less emotional and, take the trades when they come and have some confidence behind it, knowing that they're with RicoCapital and, I got their back and their best interest. So I'm ready to do this, open the market for next week. I'm ready to go, but that's the recap for this week. Very difficult, but we managed. So moving on, we caught some really good, high conviction plays. We saw Amazon, Google was a really good high conviction play. We broke out downtrend, played it up here. We opened up outside this flag and we slammed that for the ride up. I mean, it was really, really good. So hitting our levels perfectly, perfect. So we're going to focus on high convictions for all of next week, and of course kind of keeping things simple and things like that. So let's see how we do. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out more videos. Anything you want to learn, I got you already. Tap in with the team. If not, I'll see you on the next video.